Roger Bauer. I'm the director of this crazy show you're about to see, Deathtrap. It is a fun murder thriller. Deathtrap was first performed in Radio City Music Hall. I hate the way he spit scotch. Was first performed in 1978 in New York at Radio City Music Hall. You remember? Did you see it?
But she remembers.
It's important. It's important, you know. Well, I am curious. Did anybody see the original show in Radio City Music Hall? Well, then you'll be interested to know that we designed our set exactly as the one that they had in 1978. Not bad, huh? Everything works.
Wow.
All the weapons are real. So you keep awake, you may need to duck. It was made a motion picture long about, if memory serves me correct, 1983. Anybody see the movie? Who was in it?
Christopher Reeve.
There, yeah, Christopher Reeves. Who else?
Elvis Presley.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. Well, for those of you who didn't see the movie, you would swear that we have tonight on our set, in those two same roles, Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine.
Oh, right.
You would swear that.
Swear at it or swear?
I don't think you'll swear at it, because these two guys, you're going to look at them, you're going to think, my God, that's Michael Caine. Because that part is played by Ron Saville, who is our resident Englishman.
Yes.
Okay? Michael Caine was English, Ron Saville was English. And of course, Christopher Reeve, who was Superman,
Yes.
tonight is being played by Michael Gallegos.
That is funny, isn't it?
Because Michael Gallegos is
Superman?
short. But you're going to love it. We also have Brenda Kusimba, who is performing this evening. You've seen her in some of our performances in the past. And James Ruddle is playing the part of Porter, the lawyer. And we get to introduce to you tonight a new actress. She's new to us. She's not a new actress. Matter of fact, she's really old. Melissa Mayo, part of Helga. Ah,
Mom.
wonderful. Hi, Mom. You're going to enjoy Melissa Mayo as Helga. So, I'm not going to keep you any longer. I do have a request of you. If you have phones, kind of like I have, and I need to remember it, turn them off or turn them down so they don't ring, buzz, or otherwise make noise. Your playbills. You know, we have some good sponsors in there that either sell stuff or sell services. Hang on to your playbill. If you get a chance to show those folks some business, we sure appreciate it. They'd appreciate it. And if you can't give them any business, pass the playbill along to maybe some of your friends and suggest they come see this show. That's how we've built this theater since 1989, I believe. We're the longest running live performing theater in Fort Bend County.
All right.
Enjoy this show. I'll see you briefly at halftime. We have one intermission tonight, and I think you'll have fun. Thank you.
Deathtrap, a thriller in 2 acts. One set, 5 characters. A juicy murder in Act 1, interesting developments in Act 2. Sound construction, good dialogue, laughs in the right places, highly commercial.
Why, that's wonderful, darling. I'm so happy for you, for both of us.
Happy? Why not happy?
But it's yours, isn't it? The play you wrote in August?
The play I wrote in August has gone the way of the play I wrote sort of in, let me see, June, and the idea I had before then, in the fireplace, up the chimney and out over Fairfield County. Pollution in its most grisly form. No, this came in the mail this morning. It's the property of one Clifford Anderson. He was at the seminar I gave last July. Dear Mr. Brule, I hope you don't mind my sending you my play Deathtrap, which I finished retyping at 2 o'clock this morning, since I couldn't have written it without the inspiration of your own work and the guidance and encouragement you gave me last summer. I thought it only fitting that you should be the first person to read it. If you find it 1/10 as good as any of your own thrillers, I'll consider my time well spent and the fee for the seminar more than adequately recompensed.
That's nice.
No, it isn't. It's fulsome. Please excuse the carbon copy. The local Xerox machine is on the fritz, and I couldn't stand the thought of waiting a few days to send my firstborn child off to its spiritual father. My italics, his emetics. I hope you'll call or write as soon as you've read it and let me know whether you think it's worthy of submitting to, etc., etc. The son of a bitch even types well. I think I remember him. Enormously obese. Glandular condition. 400 pounds. I wonder where he got my address.
From the university?
Probably.
Is it really that good, his first play?
It can't miss. A gifted director couldn't even hurt it. It could run for years. The stock and amateur rights alone could feed and clothe generations of Andersons. It could even be made, opened up into a movie. George C. Scott or Michael Caine.
Oh, I love him.
The damn thing is perfect.
Shouldn't you be proud that one of your students has written a saleable play?
For the first time in 11 years of marriage, darling. Drop dead.
Oh, my goodness.
I'd like to beat his head in with the mace there and bury him in a 400-pound hole somewhere, and then I could send it in under my own name to Hal Prince or David Merrick. Now, there's the best idea I've had in ages.
Oh, my poor Sydney.
I mean, what's the point in owning a mace if you don't get to use it once in a while?
You get an idea of your own any day now, and it'll turn into a better play than that one.
No, I wouldn't bet on it. Not that you have any money to bet with.
Oh, we're doing very nicely in that department. Not one creditor beating at the door.
But for how long? I've just about cleaned you out, haven't I?
We've cleaned me out, and it's been joy and delight every bit of the way. Your next play will simply have to be a terrific smash.
Thanks, that's what I need. An easing of the pressure.
Maybe you should call it to Merrick's attention. Maybe you could get a commission of some kind.
A finder's fee, you mean?
If that's what it's called.
A great and glorious 1%. Maybe 1.5%.
Or better yet, why don't you produce it yourself? You've been involved in enough productions to know how to do it. And it might be a beneficial change of pace.
Darling, I may be devious and underhanded enough to be a murderer, but not, I think, a Broadway producer. No, one mustn't overestimate one's talents.
Collaborate with him. Isn't there room for improvement to the play, good as it is? The professional touch, a little reshaping and sharpening?
That's a possibility.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled at the chance to work with you.
We could split 50-50.
And you'd get top billing?
Naturally. Reverse alphabetical order, dear boy. It's done all the time.
On the basis of who you are.
Sydney, 4 flops rule.
Sydney, author of the Murder Game rule.
Oh, yes. The murder game. I remember that one. Back in the time of King Arthur, wasn't it?
Not quite that long ago.
18 years, love. 18 years, and each one flying past faster than the one before. Oh, nothing received like success. Now, that is a good one, isn't it? Maybe I could work it in somewhere. Some has-been actor could say it. Receipts is, EDE, right?
Yes. You see, you would improve it.
Give it the inimitable Sydney Brawl flavour. Close in Boston.
Call him now. Where does he live?
Up in Milford. You don't like the mates?
No, blood on the carpet, and the next day Helga ten Dorp would be picking up the psychic vibrations.
In Holland, I doubt it very much.
Sydney, what were you smoking last Friday? While the rest of us were smoking grass. She's taken to McBain Cottage for 6 months. Paul Lyman's doing a book with her. He was impersonating her for 15 minutes.
Oh, and I thought you was finally coming out of the closet.
You see what a fine murderer you'd be? Helga ten Dorp moves in practically on her doorstep, and you manage not to hear about it.
Now that does give one pause.
It certainly should. Nan and Tom Wesson had her to dinner last week, and she told Tom about his backaches and the money he put into silver, and his father's thing for tall women. She warned Nan that their au pair girl would be leaving, which she did 2 days later. And she found a set of keys Nan lost in 1969. They were under the clothes dryer.
She's in the McBain Cottage?
Right over yonder. Probably picking up our blips on her radar this minute.
Well, it looks like our Mr. Anderson has himself a collaborator. Not that I really believe in ESP.
The police in Europe seem to. That's half of why she's here. She's resting from pointing at murderers.
Wait a minute. The fat one, he didn't stay the whole week. And his name was Quinn or Quincy. Anderson. Oh, I wonder if he was the one with the awful stammer.
Easy way to find out.
Yes. This might be a 3-hour conversation. Busy. Probably talking to Merrick. What's for dinner?
Salmon?
Again?
Yes. Sydney, would you actually commit murder in order to have a successful play?
Don't be foolish, darling. Of course I would. Spoken in jest, Miss Tendorp. Right, oh, we should, hadn't told me about her, still. Hello, Clifford Anderson, Sydney Brawl. Not the stammerer. As a matter of fact, I have. I finished it about 15 minutes ago, and I must say in all sincerity that you've got an enormously promising first draft. I was just saying to my wife, Myra, that if you give it the reshaping it needs, point it up in a few places and work in a few laughs, it'll be right up there with Sleuth, The Murder Game, and Dial M. It has the makings, as we say. Oh, I should think you would be. Oh, I know that feeling so well. I thought The Murder Game was finished the first time round, and then somebody with much more experience in the theatre took it in hand and revised it with me. Improved it tremendously, I don't mind admitting. George S. Kaufman. I wanted him to take credit, Lord, I tried to, but he wouldn't have any. No, he was badly in debt at the time, and he didn't want it known that he had a share of the royalties. Now, I might be quite wrong about this, but what sort of reaction have you had from other people? Oh? No one at all? Oh, well, I'm very flattered, yes, but surely someone has read it. One of your friends, your wife, one of the people at the seminar. Really? Well, now that sounds ideal. Yes. And all you have to do is check the thermostat and water the plants. I'm surprised you've only written one play since June. I'd have knocked off 3 or 4 by now. Yes, I am actually. It's a thriller. It's based on ESP. We've got Helga ten Dorp living next to us. She's a neighbour of ours, you see. It's called The Frowning Wife. That's just a working title. Something jazzier than that. I like the title Deathtrap, by the way, as a title and the play, although I should say that the promising first draft, of course. Yes, I have. Yes, it's far too many to give you over the phone. Maybe we could get together and run through the manuscript scene by scene. I am free this evening, as a matter of fact. Why don't you drive down, and I'll pick you up at Westport Station. Oh, I see. Yes, well, if you can't drive down, then take the train to Westport Station, and I'll pick you up from there. Yes. No, I'm not so sure. Actually, it would be better that way anyway. Yeah, we live we're out in the woods, very difficult to find. We have to send out flares whenever we're expecting people. I'll hold on. His car's in for repairs. He's babysitting, house sitting a house for some people in Europe. Oh no.
Do you think he'll be open to the idea of collaborating?
Yes, I think so. Was George's husband still alive when the murder? Hello? Yes, no, that's too early. When's the next one? Oh, no, that's far too late. All right, take the, get the 7:29, and I'll pick you up at Westport Station, and then I can run you over, yes? Okay? And, by the way, could you, and actually, no, there's an 11 or something from New York, I believe, which I believe terminates at Milford. You should have no problem getting home tonight. Oh, and could you bring the original with you? The carbon is a little hard on these weary old eyes. All right? Okay, yes. All right, I'll pick you up at 7:29 then. All right, goodbye. I don't think he's the one with any obvious defects.
Oh, what errands do you have to run?
Didn't you say anything about library books, picking up or dropping off?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought you did. Apparently the Xerox machine's been fixed, but he thought he'd wait a day or two in case I had any, suggestions to make. Nobody knows he's been working on it. Nobody's got a clue. Nobody at all.
And no one will see you picking him up?
The thought had crossed my mind. I'm so used to planning crimes on paper.
Why did you ask him to bring the original copy?
Oh, you heard me. The carbon is a strain. And besides, I really do need 2 copies. I don't want him leaning over my shoulder for 2 hours exhaling cheeseburger.
He probably has another carbon filed away somewhere.
More than likely. And all of his notes and his outlines, early drafts, etc. Opening night of my dazzling success, and his grey-haired mother comes down the aisle, followed by the Milford and Westport Police Departments. Hello, Lottie. No, I'm afraid I can't. I've got an idea I'm working on, and I don't want to lose it. It's in the embryo stage, you see. But Myra might want to. Hold on a second. They're going to see that French thing at Fine Arts 2. I can drop you off.
No, I don't want to see it. Not tonight.
Lottie, I'm afraid Myra will pass too. She's feeling a little under the weather at the moment. Why don't you go and see it and give us a report on it tomorrow? Okay? Have fun. Goodbye. Well, you don't have to stand guard over me. I only killed him with a full moon.
Why did you lie just now? Well, why didn't you tell her someone was coming to see you?
Is it their business? I don't know why I lied. I'm just a liar.
There was a full moon last night, except for a sliver down near the bottom.
Really? Well, then I'll have to exercise extreme self-restraint because that second carbon almost certainly exists.
If not for that, Sydney, would you? Could you?
Probably not. Probably I would chicken out, even if he was the tiny one. They say that committing murder on paper siphons off the hostile impulses, and I believe that's true. It gives one the idea of an idea, that's worth considering. but yeah, a little like owning a weapon, you know, where it's you know, owning a weapon and handling it opens one, however slightly, to the possibility of using it. Oh, but there's a world of difference between a real victim and a paper one. No. I think our Mr. Anderson will go home tonight in the same state of health as he came. Manuscript clutched in tiny or huge or relatively normal hands.
I'm sure he'll jump at the chance to collaborate with you.
Yes, I'm sure.
And then afterwards you can do a play that's all your own.
Oh, I'm sure, sooner or later.
Maybe you could do something based on Helga Tindorf, but not called The Frowning Wife.
The Smiling Wife? A cheerful, up kind of thriller? You know, there could be an idea in this. A playwright who's going through a dry spell receives a newly hatched play from a twerp who attended his seminar. It's a reasonable opening, isn't it? If the play is obviously commercial, and the playwright is surrounded by a room full of weapons.
Put it in your notebook.
I will. Pity he's got the title Deathtrap. Actually, it was built in 1794, but they've run out of 9s at the hardware store, so I backdated it 10 years.
It's a beautiful house.
Historical Society had kittens.
Hello.
Oh, Clifford Anderson, my wife, Myra.
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, come in. I was beginning to worry.
Oh, mind the bean. You can always tell an authentic colonial by the bruises on the visitors' foreheads.
The room you work in?
How did you get?
Well, the typewriter and all these posters. Is that the mace that was used for the murder game?
Yes. And a small dagger there, that was from the murder game too. Mine is careful, it's sharp. The real one was substituted in the second act.
In for the kill.
Yes.
I don't know why that play didn't run.
Oh, pretty keen on it might be the answer to that.
The train must have been late, was it?
No, Mr. Poole was. The train was on time.
Yes, well you see, I had to get gas, and Frank insisted on funneling the spark plug.
Do you know that Gunpoint was the first play I ever saw? I had an aunt in New York, and I went to visit her by train. I was only 12 years old, another first, from Hartford.
Well, if you're trying to depress me, you've made it.
How? Oh, well, I'm sorry, but that's how I got hooked on thrillers.
Angel Street did it to me. Bella, where is that grocery bill? Hey, what have you done with it, you poor, wretched creature? I was 15.
It sounds like a disease being passed from generation to generation.
It is a disease. Thrilleritis malignus. The fevered pursuit of the one-set, five-character moneymaker.
I'm not pursuing money. Not that I wouldn't like to have some so that I could have a room like this to work in, but that's not the reason why I wrote Deathtrap.
And you're still an early case.
It's not a disease. It's a tradition. A superbly challenging theatrical framework in which every possible variation seems to have been played. Can I conjure up new ones? Can I startle an audience that's been on Angel Street, that's dialed them for murder, that's witnessed the prosecution, that's played the murder game?
Lovely speech, and thanks for saving me for last.
I was coming to Sleuth.
Yes, well, I'm glad I stopped you.
Well, so am I. I'm a little euphoric about everything that's going on.
And, well, you should be.
Would you like something to drink?
Yes, please. Do you have any ginger ale?
Yes. Sydney? Scotch?
No, I believe I'll have ginger ale too now.
These aren't all from your plays, are they?
God, no, I haven't written that many. No. The friends give me things, and I scour the antique stores now.
There's a disease.
Yes, and a great excuse for not working. Hey, look, I picked this up just the other week in Ridgefield. Look at that, 18th century German.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh, and look, I am keeping out my spiritual child as safe as I can. Oh, where am I? Learn the lock and key, you see?
Can you get it?
Ah,
Well, I have the original.
thank God. Oh, yeah, my doctor tells me that, you know, I'd like to wear glasses, but he won't let me. He says that the longer I can stay without them, the better off I am. Tell you what. Oh, there you are.
It's not in a binder for the Xerox.
Oh, makes no difference, mind.
Well, and I have the first draft also. There's a scene between Diane and Carlo that I may have been wrong to cut. And the Diane and Richard scene happens a little earlier before they know Carlo is back.
Did you do several drops?
Just the one. It's a mess, but I think you'll be able to decipher it if you want to see those two scenes.
Yeah, I would, by all means. I knew that there was a scene between Diane and Carlo I wasn't seeing before the murder.
I was afraid the act would run too long.
Thanks. What else you got in there?
Oh, the outline, which I departed from considerably, but I made it the way you suggested. A page per scene, loosely, and some lines I jotted down but threw away.
Did you throw away the ones you did use as you used them?
Yes.
Ah, same way I went.
Everything was in the one envelope, so I just had to grab it. Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
It's a 2-hour walk to the station, and I had to leave right after we talked.
2 hours?
I walk longer than that every day. I'm one writer that's not going to get flabby. I work out with weights every morning. I came this close to making the Olympic decathlon team.
Really?
Well, this close.
Well, I'll remember not to argue with you then. I'm on the Olympic sloth team. Never fall asleep in any position. Cheers!
Oh, Deathtrap!
Deathtrap. It'll be toasted with more than ginger ale someday if Sydney's right about it, and I'm sure he is.
Well, I hope so. I toasted it with beer the other night.
We have some, would you rather?
No, this is fine, thanks.
Are you planning to stay in here?
Yes.
There's a scene in the book right here. Did I overdo it on the set description? The exact location for each piece of furniture?
Set description? No, I don't remember anything wrong with it. No, this is perfect. Couldn't be better. And you certainly type beautifully. Electric?
No, I can't see using electric typewriters. If there's a power failure, you can't work.
Oh, that's the whole point. You only one. No. The real problem I find with Zenobia here, at any rate, is that you can only do one decent carbon. The second carbon comes out so muddy as to be almost illegible. You don't have that trouble with your...
Mr. Anderson, Sydney has some wonderful ideas for improving your pie.
Oh, I'm sure he does, and I'm looking forward to hearing them.
Couldn't you do that in the living room, dear?
There's no good work light in there.
I seem to recall a paisley chair with a lamp beside it, bright enough for the engraving of Bibles on pinheads.
The light's too bright and the chair's too low. I'll be quiet.
Darling, this is Clifford's first play, and I'm the first person to read it. Now, I'm sure you would like our discussions to be private, wouldn't you? Now, don't be too embarrassed to say so.
Well, no, I don't mind Mrs. Brule being here. In fact, I kind of like it. It makes me feel a little less as if I've been summoned to the principal's office.
Oh, I'm sorry if I bore you.
Oh, you do? All those plays and the things you say, why, I would never think of calling my typewriter anything other than Smith Corona.
As long as it answers.
You're more than welcome to read this, Miss Brule, if you'd like to.
I would.
I'm curious to find out how Diane's going to react to the decision about the gun.
Well, Sydney told me a little about it at dinner time, but he stopped at the surprises. I don't even know who kills whom.
Good. You shouldn't. I think that was the problem with Murderer's Child, if you'll forgive me for saying so. But from the opening curtain, it was so obvious that Dr. Mannheim was going to bash poor Teddy that you left no room for doubt. I mean, the audience should suspect, yes, but they shouldn't be absolutely certain, should they? Doesn't that have a tendency to diminish the suspense?
You may have a point there. Now, I wish you told me on the phone that you wanted Myra to read it. I'd have asked you to bring a second copy and carbon, and she could have been reading it while we have a little chat.
Well, I didn't know she would be interested in any way. I don't have one.
You don't have another carbon?
No, I just have the original. I was going to make more Xeroxes after we finished.
Of course. There's no need for 2 or 3 anymore in the age of Xerox.
Well, she can read this one, and we could pass the pages back and forth, or I could sit next to you.
No, wait. Now let me think. I want to think for a moment.
Mr. Anderson, Sidney is bursting with creative ideas about your play. I've never seen him so enthusiastic. He received plays in the mail very often. Finished plays that are ready for production, supposedly. From his agent, from directors, from aspiring playwrights. And usually he just laughs and sneers and says the most disparaging things you could possibly imagine. I know he could improve a play tremendously. He could turn it into a hit that would run for years and years and make more than enough money for everyone concerned.
Is this what you mean by I'll be quiet?
I won't be quiet. I'm going to say something that's been on my mind ever since your phone conversation. It's very wrong of you to expect Sidney to give you the fruit of his years of experience and hard-won knowledge without any quid pro quo as if the seminar was still in session.
He offered to give me
He shouldn't have offered to give it to you. I am the one in this household whose feet are on the ground and whose eye is on the checkbook. Now I'm going to make a suggestion to you, Sidney, and I know it's going to come as a shock to you, but I want you to give it your grave and thoughtful and earnest consideration. Will you promise to do that for me?
Sure.
Put aside the play you're working on. Yes, put aside the play about Helga Tendorp and how she finds murderers and keys under clothes dryers. Put it aside and help Mr. Anderson with his play. That's what I'm suggesting. Collaborate with him. That's what I think is a fair and sensible and rational thing to do in this situation. Deathtrap by Clifford Anderson and Sidney Brule. Unless, of course, Mr. Anderson feels in deference to your age and reputation, it should be the other way around.
Well, that is a shocker. Put aside the drowning wife.
I thought it was frowning.
Frowning? No, what sort of title would that be? No. The drowning wife is what I'm calling it right now. Why so terrible in this place? Anyway, the drowning wife is what I'm calling it right now. It's got these women's lib undertones or overtones, plus the ESP. It's such a timely play.
It will keep. People are always interested in psychics who can point at someone and say, this man murdered that man. Put it aside, please, Sidney. Do for Mr. Anderson what George S. Kaufman did for you.
Well, that's awfully persuasive, Myra. How does it grab you?
Wow, I suddenly feel as if I've been put on the spot.
You have? Really? Myra's put you there. Put us both there.
I felt it should be brought up now before anything was done.
Yes, quite right. What's your reaction, Clifford?
Well, I'm overwhelmed, really honored and staggered that Sidney Brule would even consider the idea of setting aside one of his own plays in order to help me on mine. I mean, there I was, 12 years old, sitting in the theater, and who would think that one day I would be standing
We
here
get
waiting
the gist of this passage.
It's a golden opportunity that I feel I ought to seize with both hands.
You should, yes.
But the thing is, it's as if I went to the doctors, one of the world's leading specialists, and he recommended surgery. Well, even with my respect for his eminence and his experience, I still would want a second opinion, wouldn't I? I'm more than sure your ideas are terrific, Mr. Brule. But you are right, Mrs. Brule. It wouldn't be fair for me to hear them right now without some sort of an arrangement or understanding. And to be perfectly honest, right now, without having heard them, I feel that Deathtrap is very good as it is. Not perfect, certainly. I'm more than sure it could still use a little fine-tuning, but I'm not sure it needs surgery. What I ought to do is Xerox some more copies in the morning and send them to some of those agents that you suggested to us. And if they say, too, that it needs major rewrites, then I will be back here begging you to do what Mrs. Brule suggested. And I'll be willing to make whatever arrangements you feel is right. Like the one you had with Mr. Kaufman, I guess. I hope I haven't offended you.
Oh, not at all.
Mr. Anderson, Agents know about contracts. They don't know about
Don't,
it.
Myra, don't. He'll think he has the wealth of the Indies here, and we're Mr. and Mrs. Jean Lafitte.
I would never think anything like that, Mr. Brule. I'm grateful that you're willing to go out of your way to help me.
But I'm not really. Now that I've had a chance to consider the matter, now, I could never put aside a play as timely and inventive as The Drowning Wife, to do wet nurse work to one as speculative as Deathtrap. Sit down, Myra. Oh, you're making me nervous standing there hyperventilating. Look, do as you say. Take them along to a few of the agents, and if you feel that major rewrites are in order, look me up. Who knows, I might hit a snag or two.
Thank you, I will.
Although I doubt I shall. I have the outline all completely finished and half of it written already, and I have a second play to follow it, based on the life of Harry Houdini, you know.
Oh?
Yes. Magic is quite in right now. Look at the success of the magic show. And Houdini is an idol of mine. Hey, look, see, these are
Sydney.
a pair of his handcuffs. Darling, look. Clifford isn't the sort of person that will steal somebody else's idea. You wouldn't do that, would you?
No, of course not.
See? Look, there's nothing to worry about. Now, come on, sit down. Now, look, his heart is as far from fraud as heaven from earth. Look at these.
Sydney, please.
Houdini was a marvellous craftsman. Did you know that he made all his own magical instruments?
No, I didn't.
Absolutely amazing stuff. Here, take a look at those. They are magnificent.
Don't, I'm begging you, for God's sake, think.
Just sit down, Myra, please. Stop getting all fired suspicious of everybody who comes through that door. Oh, we had a terrible experience a couple of years ago with a plagiaristic playwright whose name I shan't mention, as he's gone to meet his creator. He's returned for repairs. Anyway, ever since then, poor old Myra, she's been getting upset if I so much as mentioned to a fellow writer the language I'm writing in. Anyway, take a good look at those. They are magnificent.
They look so old.
They're supposed to. They were made to. They are solid and apparently escaped.
They certainly seem that way.
Be my guest.
You mean put them on?
Yes, that's what I mean. When you're holding my prized pair of $1,200 handcuffs, and I say, be my guest.
$1,200?
Now, what you have to do is you have to twist, press, and pull all in one motion. You didn't do it right. No. It's twist, press, pull, and...
They're not opening.
Well, they worked for me yesterday morning. It's not as if they've not been oiled.
Well, I guess I'm not Houdini.
Well, don't worry about it. I've got the key around here somewhere. Now, please, don't keep fussing with them. You're likely to spoil them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now, key. Where are you, little brass key?
You know, this could be a good thriller. It could. I mean it.
How so?
Well, a younger playwright goes to visit an older playwright who conducted a seminar that the younger playwright attended. He sends him his first play, no one has read it, and he goes to get some ideas for some rewrites and brings along his original, his notes and everything. Of course, you have to have the Xerox machine breaking down in order to explain why there are only 2 copies. And the play would have to be a very good one. The one that the younger playwright wrote, I meant. And the older playwright would have to have nothing much going for him at the time.
An enormous concatenation of unlikely circumstances, don't you think?
Well, yes, maybe, but we've almost got it here, haven't we? I mean, the only difference is that you have the Houdini play in The Drowning Wife, and I guess Deathtrap isn't worth killing for. No one probably even saw me getting into your car.
Well, there you go. You've licked the second play problem.
But I still think it could be turned into something really great. What do you think, Mrs. Brule?
I don't like it. It frightens me.
I wonder if I could have put it up here somewhere.
I think I forgot to mention that I'm expecting a call any minute now. I was supposed to meet a girl around at 8:30, and it's around that time right now, isn't it? She was going to call me. I left a note. I couldn't reach her on the hall mirror, so she can find out what train I'm taking back, so she knows what station to pick me up at. I hope you go on finding for that key, because if you don't find it, you're going to have to hold the phone for me.
How is she going to get in to see the note?
She has a key.
You're not a very conscientious house sitter.
She's honest.
You told me in the car that you didn't know anybody in Milford except a few tradespeople.
She's from Hartford. Her name is Marietta Klonowski. She's a teacher at Quirk Middle School, phys ed.
Where did you get the number? It's not listed.
The university gave it to me, along with your address. I'm friendly with Mrs. Beecham there.
Beecham?
The short red-haired lady with the eye shade.
Now, let's think. We had a bit of trouble, just a few weeks ago with an obscene caller that was boring us, and I don't recall telling old U of H the new number that I sorted for it. So, tell me, which number did you give Miss Klonowski?
I don't remember.
226-3049 or 226-5457?
3049?
The new one. How strange. I must have notified the university and forgot about it. How strange and how very untypical of me.
Would you please go on looking for the key?
Certainly.
My heart won't take it.
Well, take what, dear? By finding the key? You know, I think the two of you thought I was going to take the mace there and do a Dr. Mannheim. Is that why you withdrawn so far upstate, Clifford?
Well, you can't write a play like that and not have a mind that envisions possibilities.
True, very true. I'm a little paranoid myself. What's your excuse, oh loyal and trusting wife? 11 years of marriage, and she thinks that I'm capable of flesh and blood murder. Let that be a lesson to you, Clifford. No, come on, uncuff yourself. Deathtrap is promising, but it's not that promising.
Well, I'm glad of that.
No. Your best invention so far is the name Marietta Klonowski. That's lovely. I congratulate you.
Thanks.
Yes, I can see the sweat on her forearms after the basketball match. Mrs. Beecham's eyeshadow I thought was a bit much.
Well, I thought that was a convincing detail that you asked us to strive for. Are you sure this is the key?
Ye gods, man! Oh, Houdini and Zungos and a milk can under 10 feet of water. Are you trying to solve it?
No! Stop it, Sidney!
Sorry!
Stop it, Sidney! Stop, Sidney!
Right on the rug. 1 point for neatness.
Oh, God, no. No.
heart seems to have taken it.
Barely.
I will give it a rest on the Riviera after the opening. Oh, and we can get a housekeeper, so you won't have to, you can just take things easy. Oh, and a new car, a damn Rolls.
We're going to be in prison.
A would-be playwright leaves his house-sitting job. The police won't even bother to yawn.
Leaving his clothes and his typewriter.
Why not? Who knows what these young people are like these days, especially the would-be playwrights. Maybe he decided he wouldn't be. And, maybe he's decided to, preach ecology or join the Reverend Sun Myung Moon. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, that house will be broken into and little Smith Corona stolen.
What are you going to do with him?
Bury him behind the garage. No, the vegetable patch. Easier digging. Look, go and get yourself a brandy or something. Well, I'm bringing it at it again. How our friends, I tell you, they're going to be so envious. They'll see you living on my money. Oh, picture their confusion. Oh, full moon, all right. Yes. Well, let's hope this is not going to become a monthly practice. Oh. Right. Now, can you help me carry him? Oh. Damn nice drive you mad in this other place. Okay. It's been done, Myra. I don't see any point in me getting a hernia. Thank God he wasn't the fat one. Make mine a double, will you? Oh, I think I'm catching a chill, along with the incipient blisters, aching arms, and little devils poking pitchforks into what I believe is my lumbago. Oh. In Murderous Child, I had Dr. Manning bury Teddy in 45 minutes. In future, I'll know better. Well, we're out one floor, right? But I saw some nice ones in the Yield House just the other day. What makes me think there's a speech going on? Oh, well, if you don't mind, if you could wait just a few moments while I get my own brandy. Oh, and sit down.
I had intended to. I've learned something in 11 years of melodrama.
Good girl. Go.
I'd be very happy living on your money, but I don't relish the thought of living on his. I tried to understand how you could do it, bearing in mind your disappointments and embarrassment of our financial situation, but I can't. And how will you feel like a winner when we'll both know it's his play? I can't understand that either. You're very alien to me, Sydney. And it can't only be since 5 o'clock this afternoon. You must have always been very different from the person I thought you were. I don't think the police are going to be as unconcerned as you do. So I don't want anything to happen that would look suspicious if they come to question us.
How
but
will they? He vanished from Milford. This is Westport.
they'll check into his past associations. He must have gotten your address from the university, even if he did lie about the phone number.
If they come, I'll simply say he wrote me a twerpy little letter and I answered it. You know, he was asking for advice. Or maybe I just threw it away.
In a few months, if we haven't been arrested, I want you to leave. We'll have a few arguments in people's living rooms, and you can write them for us. Little quips about money or something, and then you'll move out. I wish you could take the vegetable patch with you, but since you can't, you'll buy it from me as soon as the money starts rolling in. Before you go to the Riviera, and before you buy the Rolls Royce, you'll buy the vegetable patch, the house, and the whole 9.3 acres. We'll get Buck Raymond or Moria should have set a fair price.
Darling, you've had a painful and
Can't wait for me.
you've had a painful and shocking experience, and so have I. I'm terrified that I'll be caught and absolutely guilt-ridden that I was insane enough to do it in the first place. Look, I'll give half the money to the new Dramatist League. I swear I will. This is no time to be talking about anything. In a few days, when we're both ourselves again, things will be much cheerier.
You are yourself right now, so am I. In a few days... Go ahead. He wrote me a twerpy letter, officer.
It's probably Lottie and Ralph come to yammer about the movie.
It's probably Helga ten Dorp.
Don't be silly, it's Lottie and Ralph. Damn them, we've got to answer the door now. Do you think you can face them? Maybe you could go upstairs and
No, I'll stay here and let you worry that I'll fall apart.
Coming! Who is it?
I am your neighbor in House of McDonald's. Please, will you let me come in? Because, Urgent, I speak to you. I called the information of the lady who said it was your number. I am friend of Paul Wyman. Is most urgent.
Come in.
I apologize for so late I come, but you will forgive when I make you explaining. Yeah, is room I see? A beam? A window like so? Oh, and the pen. Oh, such pen. Oh. Pen. Oh, pen. Oh, pen.
We're neither of us up to snuff today.
Just as I see them? Oh, why you keep such pink-covered things?
Oh, they're antiques and souvenirs from plays. I'm a playwright.
Yeah. Sidney Brule. Paul Wyman tells me we make together a book.
This is my wife, Myra.
How do you do?
What gives you such pain, dear lady?
Nothing. I'm fine, really.
No. Something you see pains you. What tells you of me? I am Helga ten Dorp.
Oh, yes.
I am psychic.
Yes. We were going to ask you to come down.
Hours now, I feel the pain from here. Since 8:30, then begins the Merv Griffin show. I am on it next week. You will watch?
Yes, certainly. Myra.
Thursday night.
the amazing Kreskin also what they want him for, I do not know.
I called the information, but the lady would tell me not your number. I called Paul, but he is not at home. He is in place with red walls, eating with chopsticks. I called the information again. I say, it's urgent. You must tell me number. I am Helga Tendorf. I am psychic. She said, guess number. I try, but only I see 226, which is everybody else. So I come here now because pain is much worse. Oh, and more than pain.
More than pain?
Is something else here. Oh, something frightening. No, it will interfere.
What will?
The drink you would give me must keep unclouded the head. Never drink.
Only when the measures become too many, then I get drunk.
Was used many times by beautiful dark-haired woman, but only pretending.
That's amazing. It's from my play, The Murder Game. It was used every night by a beautiful, dark-haired lady, actress.
Will be used again. Another woman uses this knife, not in play, but because of play. Because of play, another woman uses this ladder. You should put away these things.
Yes, I will. In a month or so, I'll sell the whole collection, 5 of them anyway.
Maybe too late. Oh, I do not enjoy to make unhappy people, but I must speak when I see something, yeah?
Well, I don't know, actually. I think you might want to keep quiet. You're supposed to be taking it easy, resting. I'm not in your own country.
Must speak is by God gives gift.
There is danger, much danger in this room. To you, and to you. There is something here that invites death, that carries death.
Deathtrap.
Oh, this is word in English, Deathtrap?
Yes.
It's the title of the play I'm working on. It has a death in it. That's how you know that. Well, you know, I'm sure that's what you're responding to. I've been working at that desk.
Maybe. Feels like real death.
I try to be convincing. I act out everything as I write it.
A man in boots, young man, here in this room, he attacks you.
He attacks me.
Yeah, with one of those. Comes his friend to help you, to work with you. But attacks? Oh, it's very confusing image.
Well, I'll certainly be on the lookout for a young man in boots. From now on, we're going to be Japanese in here. Shoes off at the door.
He sits in this chair, and he talks of Diane.
There's a Diane in the play.
And 2 other people, Smith and Kelowna? No, wait. One person, small, black. He's in play, black man named Smith Kelowna.
Never heard the name before.
It's very confusing image. He's gone now. Nothing else comes.
Well, that was a most impressive demonstration, wasn't it, dear? The way you came up with the name of the play and Diane and dagger business, Really awesome.
Remember what else I tell you. Dagger is used again by another woman, and man in boots attacks you. Of these two things, I am certain. All else is confusing. Pain is less now, yeah?
Yes, and there wasn't any, really.
What an amazing gift. You know, I've always been skeptical about ESP, but you convinced me it's genuine.
Yes, it's genuine. Sometime not happy gift to be owner of.
Have you always had it?
Ever since I was child. Never could I enjoy a game of hide and go seek. It was too easy, you understand. Parents never wrap Christmas presents. By basting paper. Later, in my teenage years, walking with boys. Such images.
Won't you have that drink now? I really would like to talk with you.
No. I did not see that coming.
We're in the trouble with the transformer. It's just up the street, don't we?
I must get back to the house, but you will come take dinner with me sometime.
See, transformer problem. Yes, I certainly.
I will tell you all my life would make very good play. Then, child, you are living in large house with yellow shutters, yeah?
That's right, yes.
Always, when moon is full, I am in top form. Good night.
Good night.
Careful. You also.
So I intend to. No boots allowed. Good night.
Good night. Oh, remember. Thursday night. Merv Griffin.
Well, if that's all she's got to offer, we've got nothing to worry about.
You're not afraid of the danger she saw?
Not really.
We're going to be arrested.
I don't see why. If they do come here, and they do bring her into it, then, well, she'll have them combing the tri-state area for a small black boy with 2 spools of ribbon. One here, going through his mouth.
She saw him sitting here. She heard him talking.
But she had the main point backwards. You'll see, there's nothing to worry about. I'll boil that thing tomorrow, or throw it in the garbage, and that'll be the end of it. I couldn't help myself, Myra. I saw that play going out into the world tomorrow morning, and him sitting there, still young, so lucky. Please, don't decide on kicking the old boy out just yet. And please, I beg you, do not entertain any thoughts of using the dagger. Just a joke. It was another of her confused images, I'm sure. Though if we do get a housekeeper, I'll want her to have terrifically good references.
Sell the collection.
Amazing, isn't it? 18 years and Tanya's aura still permeates it. Yes, probably I should sell the collection, but not right now. It'll look too suspicious.
Put that away somewhere.
Yeah, okay. Exit dagger into desk.
Part of me wanted you to do it. At the same time, I was terrified you would. I was hoping. I saw the money too, and your name.
You tried to stop me. You did your best. But it was my doing and my doing alone. And anything should go wrong, there should be no confusion on that point. But nothing will go wrong. In a few weeks' time, we'll be celebrating leading producer, option Sydney Brawl's thriller. Successful playwright at Bit Envy. Why don't we lock up and turn in, eh? possible that murder is an aphrodisiac? What a blow that would be to the importers of ginseng root. not to mention the Department of Health, Education...
She's dead. I'm positive. It worked!
Why shouldn't it? Oh, she's had minor ones over things much less than that. You know what? I've got news for you. Styrofoam hurts. And the disc. You used it a lot harder than you did in the blooming motel.
Well, the added adrenaline of the actual performance. Oh, what about that Tendorf out there? I almost had a heart attack.
Same here.
Funny the way she saw I was going to attack you.
She got it a bit mixed up, though. She had you doing it with one of the weapons there.
It must have been the Durant getting mixed in.
Yeah. Oh, it's an extremely confusing image. Started in your nose. Well, it's a good thing she came, though. Oh, now she'll be telling everybody that she felt the pain of the oncoming heart attack. Every little bit helps. That damn transformer, they need to get them fixed. But every little bit helps, as I say. I've been telling everybody for days that Byron's been a little bit under the weather. Not that any supporting evidence is needed, of course.
I better go get my things.
Oh, no hurry, no hurry. I'm not going to phone the doctor just yet. We don't want them performing any miracles of resuscitation now, do we?
Well, what if Madame Tendorf comes back?
I'm not sure that she should. The pain has stopped, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I hadn't thought of that.
Stop moving around so much, will you please? You know, you're shedding dirt. I bet you was pleased to hear that my exit dagger line.
Was that for my benefit?
Of course. I was going to suggest it myself if she didn't. I thought you might have got a bit rattled by that premonition of Tendorf's. I could see you herring off into the woods, leaving me with a live wife, an imaginary corpse, and no surefire can't miss thriller to justify the one to the other.
I would never have done that.
Well, I thought just to alleviate any possible anxiety. You know, maybe I shouldn't burn these yet. It'll take too long.
Oh, why not? They're just the old manuscripts anyway.
Yeah, perhaps you're right. We could tear them up or cut them up and use them for scrap. But that's so chintzy. No. I'll tell them I was clearing out my files when the Grim Reaper struck.
The closer you stay to the truth, the better off you'll be.
You're a font of homey wisdom, Cliffy boy.
We can put my desk right here.
Farewell, Deathtrap. Would that you were the genuine article. And no, I have a surprise for you.
What? You have me working in the maid's room.
Oh, would I do that to you? No. I'm going to have you working right here in the handsomely converted stable, as promised.
Well, then what's the surprise?
And you'll see after the obsequies. Oh, and I hope you don't mind Zenobia here, tearing off at full speed. I really am going to do something on ESP. That was an enormously impressive demonstration she gave, despite the mistakes.
I'm ready to get to work, too.
Oh, the thing you mentioned at the seminar.
No, I have a better idea. Last week while I was cleaning out my desk, it suddenly hit me. Right there. In a typical urban welfare office, I can do a play.
A thriller?
No, quite honestly, I'm just getting tired of thrillers. I want to do something a little more honest, a little more relevant.
Even though you use those words, I'm going to let you stay here. Go get your things. I'm calling the doctor now. Sydney Brawl. Could you have him call me as soon as you can, please? It's an emergency. My wife's had a heart attack. No, I'm afraid there's no use in that. Brawl, B-R-U-H-L, and 226-3049.
I'm going to save the weights for tomorrow. And the typewriter.
Oh, yes. Little Mr. Cormula.
That was funny, wasn't it? On his way?
Answering service.
Oh, wouldn't you know? Well, see you later. How long do you think it'll be?
Oh, a couple of hours at least. I don't know, I may have to go with her. I really don't know.
Well, ciao.
Ciao. Oh, Clifford, the floorboards creak badly up there, so why don't you do a quick wash up, get into bed and stay there.
I'll buy that.
Yes, yeah, a bad one. Yeah, I tried giving her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation for 10 or 15 minutes, but it didn't work. She's there's nothing. She's been under the weather for the last couple of days, but she said it was only.
Hey, Corona, hey, Snap.
There must have been some welfare office.
Oh, it was. Everyone had a poignant story. They're writing a play of their own accord.
No notes, no outline.
It's not a thriller, Sydney. These are real people. All I'm doing is bringing them on and getting them to talk about their hopes, dreams, their frustration, their anger at the bureaucracy.
Joe Pack will have a messenger at the door any minute.
Oh, I was thinking of him as a possible producer. Do you know him?
Slightly. Let me see a few pages.
Oh, okay, if you'd like, but I'd really rather finish the first draft first and then give it to you all in one glorious bundle. Do you mind?
No, not at all. What's another hour or so?
It's going to take 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
At the rate you're going, you'll have a trilogy by then.
Nothing doing.
I'm thinking.
Why don't you invite her over? Tendor. Who knows, talking with her might spark something.
Do you think we should risk having her on the premises?
Well, maybe not when the moon is full, but any other time. Why not? Look at the egg she laid on the Griffin show.
Well, that was because of the amazing Christian when he described all her husbands in such detail.
Oh, Bill Forrester called right before you came in. She wanted to know if she could bring over a casserole or come sew a button. I told her we were managing just fine.
No, wait, we don't want to break the flow now, do we? Porter, come in. How
you doing, Sidney?
I'm doing fairly well, thank you.
There's a couple things I want to talk to you about. Am I disturbing you?
No, not at all. Grateful of the excuse to take a break, actually. How come you're not in the city?
Well, I have to be in New Haven this afternoon. The secretary?
Yes.
Mine. What a fast typist.
He is, isn't he? Come and meet him. Clifford. This is Clifford Anderson, my dear old friend, Porter Mildrum.
How do you do?
How do you do, sir?
I would say he's my attorney, but then he'd bill me.
I'm going to anyway. This is a business call, partly at least.
Oh, yeah, and Clifford here, he was at the seminar I gave earlier this year. And since Myra died, I thought, I could do with a bit of help around here with some of the loose ends and things. So anyway, I called Clifford. Next day, here he was.
Half typewriter will travel.
Very good of you.
It's a privilege to be of help to someone like Mr. Brule.
Wow, look at this. Man, isn't that a beauty?
Partner's desk.
Yeah, where did you find it?
Oh, in Wilton. I came across it the other week. Oh, it beats cluttering up a room with two, separate ones, single ones, doesn't it,
But it cost a pretty penny.
Well, it's deductible.
Yeah, well, they can't very well quibble about that, can they? Wait till Elizabeth sees this.
Oh, how is she?
She's fine.
And the girl?
Couldn't be better. Kathy loves Vassar.
And vice versa, I'm sure.
Sit down, sit down. Would you like me to go get the groceries now so you and Mr. Milgram can talk in private?
If you don't mind.
Well, I have to go sometime before dinner. Might as well.
All right, I'll be with you in a minute, Porter, okay?
Take your time. I haven't started the clock yet. I love this room.
Isn't it nice? It's a pleasure working here.
He's looking well.
Oh, yes, he's picked up quite a bit these past few days. It was really hard the first week. He was crying every night, and I could hear him plainly. Oh, but his work is a great solace to him. He'll get through this.
I'm sure it must be. You know, I've always envied that about my writer clients. I wrote a play once. Yeah, about the Supreme Court justice I most admired. But even the title was a problem. Frankfurter.
Oh, too much. All we need is salad things and milk. I'm going to Gibson's.
Get some yogurt while you're there.
Right.
Anything but fruit.
You aren't in the driveway, are you?
No, I pulled over on the side.
Well, see you later, or sayonara, whichever it may be.
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again. Pleasant young fellow. Good looking, too.
Yes, do you think he might be gay, homosexual?
I know what game means. Elizabeth told me long ago. No, he didn't strike me that way.
Well, I think he might be. But as long as he does his job well, I don't suppose it's any of my business, is it?
Well, in essence, he is a domestic employee, and I think under the circumstances, his sexual preference, it might be a legitimate matter of concern.
I wasn't asking for a legal opinion. It's none of my business,
Well, in that case, no, it's not.
Besides, if I took on a female secretary, people would talk, wouldn't they?
Well, only if she were under 80.
That's what I thought. So I called Clifford.
I'm glad to see you're looking so well. That's the main reason why I've come. See, I was delegated by Elizabeth and the Wessons and the Harveys. It seems that young man has been discouraging all callers, and, well, we just were afraid that you were in worse shape than he was letting on. But obviously, that's not the truth.
No, I'm not up to socialising just yet, but I'm coming along. The work has been a great solace to me.
What are you on to now?
It's a thriller about ESP. Helga Tendorp is in the McBain cottage, you know?
Oh, yes. Say, is it true? Tell me, is it true that what everyone's saying, that she really... Do you mind talking about this?
No, not at all. Go right ahead.
Is it true she actually pointed to the spot on the floor where Myra was going to fall?
No, nothing like that. Nothing at all like that, no. What happened was she came in here and she said, there's pain. There's great pain in this lady's chest. And Myra said, there is slight pain. And she said, with your history, you ought to see a doctor, which I had been telling Myra for days.
You know, it's uncanny being able to sense things like that. I would think you'd be able to write a very fine thriller on the subject.
Oh, it's coming along. Business time?
Yes, it is. Well, the first item on the agenda is your will. And now that Myra's gone, you really need to look it over. As it stands, if something should happen to you, your cousins in Vancouver would inherit. Do you want to leave it that way?
I'm not sure. Let me think about it.
Do, and don't put it off. This is the second item. It's only approximate, because I haven't gotten any up-to-date appraisals on real estate yet, but that's approximately what you can anticipate. Give or take a few $1,000s.
I didn't know there was this much.
Then Myra must have been keeping a few secrets. She knew. Her records were in apple pie order.
How much is the government going to grab?
Not too much, really. The first $250,000 of that is exempt from federal taxes. And the state tax, which it begins at $50,000, it's only a few percent. There's one more thing I want to talk to you about, Sidney. I was talking to Maury Escher last night at the planning board meeting, and he said that you had spoke to him about selling off a few acres.
I'm not sure I will now.
Well, you can't. Not yet anyway. You have to wait till the will's gone through probate.
I know that. I was just asking him what he thought I could get.
Well, then he was jumping the gun, not you. I just wanted to make sure you were clear on this point. Well, into business. You got off cheap.
Yes, I'm lucky.
So what's the procedure? You dictate in types?
No. I do my own typing. I have him type up the final product, of course, and he does the letters.
Is that what he was doing before letters?
No. He's typing a play of his own.
Oh, the seminar, yes, of course.
Yeah, he started yesterday. He'll probably finish it tomorrow.
I hope he's not trying to steal your ESP idea. You have discussed it with him, haven't you?
What makes you say that?
Well, he was locking what he was working on into the drawer, unobtrusively, but I noticed. Then again, you might be afraid you'll steal his idea.
Hardly. Life at a welfare office. The dreams and frustrations of half a dozen people you'd much rather not spend an evening with.
Is that where he worked before, the welfare office?
Yes, that's what he was doing.
Well, it's probably just force of habit, Ben. People in large offices, they often lock their desks.
Unobtrusively. Quite the reverse, I think. Hey, everybody, look. I'm locking my desk.
Well, it's probably just force of habit, Ben. I'm sorry I worried you. The suspicious legal man, probably he's exactly what he seems. An honest and helpful young man, completely trustworthy.
Yes, probably.
Well, I've got to get going. I've got that meeting at New Haven at noon. Trustees meeting at old Levi. Say, is that insurance check come yet?
No, it hasn't.
Yeah, I'll write him a letter first thing in the morning. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, I appreciate that.
Say, why don't you come have dinner with us?
Well, I might feel up to, joining the world in a week or two.
Good enough. Take care.
You too. And give my love to Elizabeth.
I will.
And the girls. Come on, you bastard! Damn these old world craftsmen! Oh, shit! Jesus Christmas! Feces! Well, that was quick.
Well, I only went to Gibson's.
Here, let me get them. Let me put away.
Oh, that's all right. I don't mind.
No. You did the shopping, I'll put away. Get back to the welfare office.
Oh, God forbid. I'm going to put the change here in the bowl. And I think the avocado should be organic.
Oh, yeah, likely story. Cliff, would you give me a hand?
Where are you?
Where are you?
Hey, wait!
Oh, there you are. Oh, I thought you didn't hear, so I came round. Need those Olympic fingers.
Beer? Now?
Yes, I got a sudden craving, as in the adverts.
You know you can use an opener on these.
Really?
Yes. Doesn't it say so?
What do they expect to read this? Roaches? So, you've lost your taste in thrillers, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Lost touch with the intricate plotting, you know, the superficial characters.
Mm-hmm.
Want to do something more meaningful, more socially relevant?
Hey, cut it out, will you? Your idea will come.
Possibly.
Just relax. And don't try to bug me. It'll come.
Deathtrap, a thriller in 2 acts. Characters: Julian Crane, Doris Crane, Willard Peterson, Inga Van Bronk. The action takes place in Julian Crane's study in the Crane home in Westport, Connecticut.
You have one hell of a nerve!
Setting: Julian Crane's study is a handsomely converted stable grafted onto an authentic colonial house. Sliding doors upstage centre open onto a foyer in which are the house's front door, entrances to the living room and kitchen, and the stairway to the 2nd floor. French doors upstage right open out to a shrubbery-flanked patio. Upstage left is a fieldstone fireplace, practical to the extent that paper can be burned in it. The room's furnishings are tastefully chosen antiques, a few chairs and occasional pieces, a buffet to the right with liquor decanters, and the focus of the room, Julian's desk. You remember Julian's desk, don't you? The one he worked at before the crazy Willard entered his home. Patterned draperies hang at the French doors. The room is decorated with framed theatrical posters. Unlike these, which are window cards, not posters. And a collection of guns, handcuffs, maces, broadswords, battle axes, several of which I'm going to make use of any minute now.
That's it? You're not going to act out the 11 pages? Don't you want me to explain?
What's to explain? You're a lunatic with a death wish. Freud covered it thoroughly.
I have exactly the same wish you do. A success wish.
This is going to bring you success.
It hit me that night, remember? When I put in that extra speech, when you were looking for the key. It could be a terrific thriller.
In which someone like me and someone like you give someone like Myra a fatal heart attack?
Yes! At the end of Act 1.
What, pray tell, is your definition of success? Being gang-banged in the shower room at the state penitentiary?
I knew you would have reservations about this. That's why my first instinct was to say it wasn't even a thriller. I haven't enjoyed putting you on, Sidney. I'm glad it's out in the open.
You knew I'd have reservations?
Well, you do, don't you?
The house madman is writing a play that'll send both of us to prison.
It won't!
I am standing here, terrified, petrified, horrified, stupefied, crapping my pants, and he says he's having reservations.
There is no...
I tell you, having reservations? I tell you, I'm not going to use one of those on you. I'm going to beat you to death with Roseosaurus!
There is no way for anyone to prove what did or did not cause Myra's heart attack. Look, if I could change things, I would, but I can't. It has to be a playwright. Who else can pretend to receive a finished work that could make tons of money?
A playwright, a composer. Why am I discussing this?
A surefire smash hit symphony? No. Would a composer or a novelist know where to get a garrote that squirts blood or stage a convincing murder? It has to be a playwright. Who writes thrillers? Because Arthur Miller probably has old sample cases hanging on his wall. I guess I could make it Wilton and not Westport.
Why make it anywhere? Why make it?
It's there, Sidney.
That's mountains, not plays. Plays are there till some jackass writes them.
Will you stop and think about it for a minute? Stop. Think. Remember that night. Try to see it all from an audience's viewpoint. Everything we did to convince Myra that she was seeing a real murder would have the exact same effect on the audience. Weren't we in the play? Didn't we write it? Rehearse it? Wasn't she our audience? Scene 1. Julian talks to Doris about this terrific play that's come in the mail. He jokes about killing for it. He calls Willard up and invites him to come over and gets him to bring along his original and everything. Scene 2. Everything we did, everything, from the moment we walked through that door, all the little ups and downs we put in to make it ring true, from the I'm expecting a phone call bit, tightened up a little bit naturally, of course, and then the strangulation, which scares the audience as much as it does Doris. It's all up here, Sidney. Every single bit of it. Scene 3. Inga von Bronk. A few laughs. Can't hurt, right? And then Julian and Doris get ready to go upstairs. It looks as though the scene is drawing to us all so close, and then pow! In walks Willard out of the grave. Shock, surprise. Julian gets up from his fake beating. Doris has a heart attack, and then the audience realizes, Ethel, I think Julian and Willard are in cahoots. Ethel, I don't think there's a surefire smash hit thriller. Ethel, I think the boys are going to move in together. Oh, Lord have mercy. Now tell me, I think the end is Julian on the phone talking to the doctor or burning the manuscripts. Now, Sidney, tell me, isn't that a surefire smash first act?
Yes. And what an intermission. 20 years to life!
There's no way to prove it! They can't, how can they?
What do you tell the man from the Times when he says, "Don't you work for Sidney Brawl? And didn't his wife have a heart attack just around the time you got there?"
No comment!
Oh my God!
Look, I know it's going to be a little sticky, but everyone's coming out about everything nowadays, aren't they? In print, on TV, why not on stage? As long as they can't prove it. Sidney, I've given it a lot of thought, and I really do believe it'll help the play. Give it that added dimension of intriguing gossip.
Sure, you're right. I can see the little box in the New York magazine. Tongues are wagging about interesting similarities between the new play Deathtrap and the private lives of its author, Clifford Anderson, and his employer, Sidney Brawl, who committed suicide on opening night. When queried, Mr. Anderson said, "No comment." I've got to comment, Cliff. No, absolutely, definitely no. I want to live out my years as the author of the murder game, not fag who knocked off his wife. No. Oh. This is... I had you. No! This is ridiculous. There is no way we can be doing this.
Give it to me, Sidney!
No, I won't. Look, there's a fieldstone fireplace and I am going to do what I can. If it's practical enough to burn paper in it, let's go and see it twice.
Don't you dare!
Why?
Don't you dare. If you burn that, I'll go out of here right now and write it someplace else. I'll get a house-sitting job. Give it to me, Sidney. Give it! I helped you kill for the chance to become what I want to be, and you're not going to take that away from me. I had hoped that when I had finished the first draft, you would be impressed enough to get over your Angel Street uptightness. But I guess I was wrong.
You mean a collaboration?
It's mainly your idea, isn't it? I'm not pretending it's my baby.
I'm sorry, but I really don't want to collaborate on my public humiliation.
Next season's hit. Don't say I didn't ask. And anyways, I think I'd better move out.
Why?
Well, when Helga Tendorf said that a woman was going to use a dagger because of the play, maybe she wasn't that far off target.
No, don't be silly. I love you. I wouldn't hurt you. Besides, you'd break my neck.
Damn right I would.
Don't talk about leaving.
Well, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with you being unhappy about this.
I'll whistle a lot. Oh, look, I know I'm being old-fashioned and uptight.
You are! Nowadays, geez, who cares about anything?
And I could really do with half of the royalties of a good smash hit success.
I think there's a movie in it, too.
Porter gave me the figures on Myra's estate this evening. Yes, and then it's a lot less than I thought it was going to be. $22,000, and half of that goes in taxes. There's the house and the estate, of course, but I can't do anything until the will goes through probate. And there's the insurance, of course, but that isn't up to much.
Well, the offer is still open.
Yes. You know, the idea did come to me that afternoon that, you know, the play in the murder, the play in the mail thing could make a good first act.
It's
Yes,
your
really.
idea, Sidney. All I did was help with some of the details. Pretty neat the way you managed that.
I tried breaking in. The damn thing's a fortress. Porter, he saw you locking up, and I thought you were doing something on ESP.
And I thought I was being so inconspicuous.
He's sharp. Dull, but sharp. All right, I'll do it. Let them talk. I'll blush all the way to the bank.
You mean it?
Brawl and Anderson.
Great! Oh, we'll make it Milton, not Westport.
Leave it Westport, to hell with it.
Just think, me, Clifford Anderson, collaborating with Sidney Brawl.
That's from Act 1.
Act 2's liable to be a letdown.
How so?
Well, Act 1 we have one murder. Well, two murders in effect. And Act Two is liable to be problems.
Not necessarily.
Well, we'll get the detective, the fifth character. I was thinking of the Connecticut version, like the one in Dial M.
Inspector Hubbard.
Yes! And Inga von Brandt ought to be brought back in. A good comic character like that, it would be foolish not to make the best of her.
You go on drafting Act 1. Let me give some thought to Act 2.
Oh, please, come in. Mr. Brule's not in right now.
I come through wood, it's less to walk.
I'm expecting him back any moment now.
You are?
His secretary, Clifford Anderson.
I am Helga Tendor. I am Sai.
Yes, Mr. Brule told me about you. He said you predicted his wife's a heart attack.
Yes. This was much pain right here. So sad, such a nice lady.
This room.
Oh, he is well, Mr. Brule?
Yes, fine. He went out to dinner for the first time tonight since... He said he'd be back by 10, and I think it's 1:15 now.
Oh, will be big storm. Much wind and rain, and lightning and thunder, and trees will fall.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was on the radio. I come for candles or none in house. You have?
Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't noticed any, but I can go check. Why don't you have a seat?
Thank you. You wear boots.
Everybody does nowadays. They're very comfortable.
You are for a long time secretary to Mr. Brule?
No, I just got here about 3 weeks ago, after Mrs. Brule died. I think I'm gonna go check now. Oh,
Hi, what's up?
Mr. Brule, hello. Mrs. Tendorp is here.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Good evening, Mr. Brule.
Did you get my note?
Yeah.
Yours was most pleasant, actually, and the flowers.
Do we have any candles? There's a storm brewing up, and Mrs. Tendorp would like to borrow some.
Yeah, yes, we do. I think Mara kept them in a box on the, probably on the refrigerator or on the shelf on the stairs. A long black, white and grey box, cardboard box. I saw the Griffin show. Oh, it wasn't very good, was it? What is it?
Is that I warn you of? Man in boots who attacks you.
Oh, yes. Well, you know, in the turmoil of Myra's death, I completely forgot about their warning.
Is he? Candles are not why I come. I have many candles. But tonight, I feel that there is danger here again, and Izzard's room is feeling very strong. We must not have you here.
You know, I was just thinking that this evening. I was talking to my lawyer, and I was last week I got a bit...
Sweet Corona. Naturally Corona, not Corona. Oh, this is why I see on black man's face. Current to you, You must send away this man tonight.
Yes, yes. Well, I was going to give him his notice at any rate. And now that you've come and warned me about him, I'm going to do it forthwith. But are you sure you saw him attacking me?
Was like him on TV. So sharp.
Come in, Clifford.
Thank you.
You can take more if you like.
I take two.
Okay.
Two are enough.
It's really blowing up out there.
Yeah, sometimes they are right with their predictions. I should stay.
No need to. And now, I hope you beat the rain.
Yeah, I come through wood. There's less to walk.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night. It's black out there. Are you sure you'll be able to see your way?
Yeah, I have porch.
Well, good night. Yes, and, what's wrong?
Oh, my daughter, she's pregnant. So many years they try, so many doctors they see, and now they make me grandmother. Oh, I must go tell them.
Did she tell you I was the man in boots that was going to attack you?
Yes.
Oh, did you tell her I used a styrofoam log?
I didn't think that was quite advisable. No, what I told her was that you were giving me karate lessons and we're attacking each other all over the place. The closer you stay to the truth, the better you are.
I finished Act 1.
Well, that's very good. So now, your evening was better spent than mine.
I had Julian, ending it with him on the phone.
I can't go on without her.
We want the doctor to think that he's upset, don't we?
Well, your dialogue might be a bit Tin Pan Alley, but your timing couldn't be better. I've got Act 2 ready to go.
Oh, terrific!
Well, at least I think I have. There's a couple bits of business that I need to make sure can work. And what we could do is maybe we could act them out, and if they do, I'll give you the whole thing scene by scene.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it!
Oh, but before then, would you go upstairs and check the windows? It sounds like we're getting Alice through Zelda here.
How many scenes are there?
3, same as in Act 1. I like that kind of symmetry.
All the windows are closed.
Fine.
So what are the acts of business?
Well, they're in the final scene, back to back, as it were. Now, Willard has spilled the beans, and Inspector Hubbard, our Connecticut version, he's come to the den to beard Julian, and Julian, quite berserk, shoots the inspector in the left arm. Now, the problem is he's only had one bullet, and now he's trying to get upstage to the wall in order to get a weapon and finish the job. First question is, can a one-armed inspector, in relatively good health otherwise, can he stop a two-armed playwright from getting to where he wants to go? The answer had better be no. Let's give it a try, shall we? Right about here.
Left arm out of commission?
Right. Ready?
Ready!
You've got to do better than that.
Well, I thought that looked rather convincing.
Not even to a theatre party. Now, come on.
Ow!
What a shoot, Julian.
Well, I thought I was going to tear your shirt.
Clifford, darling, please. Look. Let's not let a 5-year-old shirt get in the way, eh?
Well, can't we just let the director and the actors figure this out?
That's not the way professional playwrights operate, dum-dum. Professional playwrights don't offer a play until everything is operable and playable. Look, let's show them why Brule and Anderson are going to go down in theatrical history. Oh, it works.
Darren, look at your shirt. Oh, and mine. And I scratched your neck.
I'll survive. Oh, right, now for the second bit. Oh, far less strenuous and, yes, a little more brief.
Well, I'm glad for that.
Right, so now you be Julian and I'll be Hubbard. Now, go and get the axe, will you? Oh, it doesn't look natural that way.
Well, it feels natural.
Try another way.
It doesn't feel right this way.
All right, go back to the way you had it. All right, now, put it down. On the floor. Right, now, stand very still. We have goodbyes to say. Deathtrap is over. We're now into theatre verite. The gun, from gunpoint. No blanks, as at the dear old Lyceum, though. Real bullets, courtesy of the Messrs. Remington. I really don't want that play to be written. Although nothing can be proved, too much will be talked about it. And I'm really, really too old and old-fashioned, and yes, uptight, to join the Washington secretaries and the ex-lovers of ex-presidents and the happy hookers and the happily hooked in the National Bad Taste Exposition. You know, I had our man Porter look into you in Hartford. Now, he found a couple of blots on your record, nothing that you hadn't told me, but he said it gave me good reason, because we discussed it this evening, gave me good reason to have my doubts about you and to justify my unease. So, I came back early to give you your notice, and you became abusive and violent. Luckily, I could get to the gun, which I have the license for, and the right to use in self-defense. I'm sorry, Cliff. You know, had you not succumbed to thrilleritis malignus in what must be the world's most fragrant problem on record, then surely we just might have become the team of Brule and Anderson. As it is, we can only be Brule. I'm out of dialogue, your go.
What can I say? I'm not going to beg.
Oh, I thought you might promise to become a steam fitter or something.
Well, would you have believed me?
No.
Well, then, so I just hope you take pity on her pretty face.
I shall miss you. Goodbye, Cliff.
Goodbye, Cindy. Oh, I'm glad that it didn't shoot, because while I was buying blanks this morning, I was buying bullets for this one. Sit down, dum-dum. Sit down. Peripetetia. Reversal. You talked about it the first day of the seminar. Important element of all drama. Put that down. The problem was that I had this terrific first act, but I couldn't think of a second. Very frustrating, particularly since I'm sharing bed and board with the old master plotter himself, author of The Murder Game and In for the Kill, which I consider a more elegant construction.
Thanks, that makes two of us.
At present, yes. Be my guest.
You mean...
Well, that's what I mean.
What are you going to do?
Continue collaborating. Through the back of the chair. Don't play dumb through the back of the chair. So there I am with my problem. Sydney's not going to help me. This I know from square one. Sydney uses 3 kinds of deodorant and 4 kinds of mouthwash. Not for him, the whiff of scandal. But is there maybe a way that I can use his 17-jewel brain and get it to work for me all unwittingly? So I begin to write Act 1. And every time I leave my desk, I inconspicuously lock the drawer. So inconspicuously that for a day and a half, smart Sydney doesn't even notice. But in comes dumb old Dode Porter and saves me the embarrassment of getting heavy-handed by leaving a loose page lying around.
You're shit. Do you know that?
Would you mind saying that into the microphone? So there we are. Brule and Anderson. I write. Sydney thinks. I don't sleep much. Take last night, for instance. I barely got a wink, what with all the tiptoeing going around. But that's all right. I'll make it up next week. Thank you for Act 2. No fifth character. Julian's lawyer, not Hubbard, is the fifth character. Scene 1. Julian finds out that Willard is writing the real Deathtrap about Doris's murder, with changed names, of course. Scene 2. Julian sets up Willard for murder by getting him to enact bits of business from the play. Oh, Julian! Oh, Julian! That character is beautiful, it's wonderful, and Sydney, it played like a dream. I would have never have thought that up. I am in your debt. Julian shoots Willard, who's basically a good kid that Julian has led astray.
Oh, you bastard!
But the very next moment, in walks Inga von Brock with Peter Pilgrim or something like that. She's called them because she's been getting these bad vibes all night long. They met at Doris's funeral. Oh, Willard lives just long enough to tell the truth about himself, about Julian, and about Doris's murder. Julian shoots himself. Cotton.
What? No scene 3?
About what? They're all dead.
Seems a little unsatisfying to me. I'd be quite happy to think some more.
Oh, no, thank you. I am more than capable of filling in the holes. But before I leave, I am going to call a taxi, and I will be leaving you the key. You will tell everybody that you gave me my notice, and that I accepted it with grace and charm. And if you tell anyone that I stole anything, or bother me or hassle me in any way, well, you'll be opening up a very messy can of peas. I think I'm going to go upstairs now and see if I can find some rubies. See you anon.
Oh, Clifford! Ah! Hang in there, Connecticut Power and Light. That's a girl. Come on, come on. Come on. Police department? This is Sidney Brawl. I live out on Rabbit Hill Road. I got to report that I just killed my secretary. He was coming at me with an axe. Now, I'm sure you that it's true. Yes, and this next part, you're going to think I'm drunk, but I'm stone cold sober. I shot him with a medieval crossbow. It's the only thing I get my hands on. I can assure you it's true. Now, come out and see for yourself, but you better bring some flashlights. Brawl, B-R-U-H-L. Oh, how nice of you to know. Now, his name was Clifford...
They killed Mrs. Brawl.
What? She died of a heart attack.
Well, they make it to happen. Pain she feels is that she sees Brawl kill boy.
Now, hold on. The boy...
What? Brawl shows her play from boy. A good play. And boy comes. And Brawl kills tight around neck to take play. And she helps him carry boy out. But the pain brings me. Oh, but now I am gone. And boy is from grave, comes with love. No, no, please, I tried to stop. She dies.
My God, a fake murder to bring about a real one? Are you sure that's what happened? I thought it was strange the boy stepping in on such short notice.
Wasn't okay.
There wasn't?
Now they write all they have done. Oh, and Brawl discovers.
Play about them killing Myra.
I was afraid, Brawl. Blade will bring shame.
I bet he was afraid.
Pretends to help. Tricks boy to take axe. For play. And shoots boy? Yeah, but there are no bullets. Boy has tricked him to use to make more of play. Chains him will go, chains come apart.
The Houdini set.
Shoots boy with arrow on stairs.
And puts the axe by him.
Burns play.
The ashes in the fireplace.
Calls police.
And while he was speaking,
Boy pulls arrow from chest and attacks! Just as I saw 4 weeks ago.
my God. What a story. It's better than the murder game.
You are thinking it could be play.
It has the feel of it, doesn't it? Everything happening in one room. 5 characters.
Deathtrap.
Hey, that's a catchy title. I couldn't write Frankfurter, but maybe I could write Deathtrap.
Yeah. Yeah, I see theater. Inside, mush applause, and outside, long line of ticket buyers shivering in cold.
My goodness, that's encouraging.
But it's my idea.
Your idea? How can you say that? It was Sydney's idea. And the boys. They lived it.
But if I not tell, you not know.
This is true. I can't deny that. And you have supplied me with a catchy title, which I may or may not use.
We share money, half and half.
Are you serious? I'm gonna go home and work nights and weekends for months. give up my vacation? And all you've done is come in here and touch the furniture for a couple of minutes.
If you do not share money, I tell about telephone.
Telephone?
You speak through handkerchief, in high voice. Say dirty words to all your friends. For shame. A man like you, important lawyer with wife and 2 daughters. 3 daughters. To make such telephonings.
You interfering busybody!
Careful! Nice shot!
Bitch!
Oh, Amsterdam police have taught me something.
Whore!
I warn you, I am slut drunk!